Oh, that was a good bow. Very good. He wants to go outside so bad. You want to go outside? You want to go play in the snow? You want to go play in the snow, baby? Yeah, what's up, garden friends? This is Jeff. Here's what we do. Hope you're doing well. I'm great. I'm fantastic. It's snowing. Look at all the snow. Technically, it's icing and not snowing. It's a blend of ice and snow. We're getting a whole mix of things. Yes, Christmas stuff still out because it's only been like, I don't know, 36 hours since I finished filming the last video. It'll probably be up for a while. Fallen behind. So much stuff to do. So much stuff to do. I think the first thing that should probably get done is I need to fix this kink in the roof on the cold frame out here. And I picked up a whole bunch of lights on clearance, like $3 a box of C9 light bulbs. Those are going to help warm that thing up. I don't really know that it needs it, but it's supposed... I'm sorry, am I torturing you? I'm torturing you. There you go. Go outdoors. Have fun. Labrador. Loves the snow. But there are a couple of palm trees in there, or maybe one. I can't remember. There's like 1 or 2 palm trees in there. Windmill palms. They can take it. What you looking for? Those are just seashells and things. This is just ice. Is that all this is? Yeah, that's just ice. Maybe a few flakes mixed in there, but feels more like sleet and ice. I should probably bring this in. Oh, that should actually probably go in the cold frame. Are you done? I thought you wanted to play. You changed your mind? You want me to play with you? Okay, well, we can make that happen. Everything else is good out here. Needle palms covered up, threw a strand of lights on, just help hold some warmth in. It's not supposed to drop below 4, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. Sorry, the camera went wonky. I got distracted. I was looking at my foot, trying not to track snow in the house, and then I tracked snow in the house. Okay, so need to handle those things pretty quick and easy. Take a couple boxes of lights, spread them around the inside, and try and get that piece of roof put up. And then I have some new plants. I got some really fun new plants at places I didn't expect it. Well, Home Depot, I expect to find plants there, but they're pretty cool plants that were on clearance. Plants I would not expect to find for $15. And then at the grocery store, I found some really nice stuff for really cheap. So we'll have a look at those and maybe get some stuff done in the grow space, maybe do some things that I don't even know. The video just came out like, what, 12 hours ago? I haven't even planned for this one yet. We're just getting things done. Right, that's the plan. You're so cute with your snowflakes. You're so cute, such a good boy. When the sleet lets up, I can take him outside and run around and play. Turbo, maybe we can build a fire. I haven't gotten to play with this thing yet. I was trying to find an angle where you wouldn't see that I have a dirty frying pan on the counter. I suppose I could just clean this up or just move it. That's what I'll do. And just move it and have a better look at the stove, if that's what we're going to call this thing. It's, I think, a knockoff of the classic Solo stove. That's a big knot. Why did they make that knot so big? Oh, all I have to do is just pull it. That's all I had to do. Didn't think that one through. You know what I'm talking about, the smokeless stoves. I'm sure that there's some smoke in it, but this is a little tabletop version that got on Cyber Monday. I bought some of these for multiple people for Christmas. They were cheap. It was like, I think the deal was maybe $15 for this thing. Seemed like a good enough deal, and who doesn't love the gift of being able to set things on fire? Step 1, gather dry twigs and tinder. Okay, so this isn't gonna happen. Everything's sopping wet. Well, okay, another time. We'll make a fire some other time. Oh, it has a cooking ring. That could be fun. And it has a double layer pellet adapter. I'm not quite sure what that means. Is this the cooking ring in here? I don't know how that works. You're supposed to... The directions say the fire gets built underneath this. So you start a fire down in here and you just set that on top. That doesn't seem right, does it? Oh, well, this is probably supposed to be up there. And then I bet the cooking ring sits up here? Or maybe like, well, this isn't made. These directions are terrible. It's fine. That's neither here nor there. Hope you enjoyed your first dose of Jeff's ADD. Ooh, for part 2 of Jeff's ADD, look, I'm now the proud owner of gloves. You didn't know that I didn't own gloves. I do have some gloves, but they're like ski gloves. They were not useful the other day when I was putting down those frozen bags of mulch. Finally, some good working gloves. Got some grip on them, and these are supposed to be pretty warm. They don't feel very grippy though, but we will see. Also, look at it. Look at cute, adorable pumpkin ornament. I haven't gotten the protective film off of these yet. I bet they'd be nicer to look at if they didn't have that film on them. I just cut my fingernails. I can't get it off. Well, you get the point. I scratched that for a while. It's not coming off. Not without some more work. And here's the other one. Isn't it cute? Pumpkin standing up, begging for treats. Love it so much. Such a sweet cat. Pumpkin, we're talking about you, Pumpkin. How you doing? You look, Pumpkin. It's for you. It's your own ornament, Pumpkin. Okay, she doesn't care. Wow. Big zoom there. I'm gonna go outside and get some stuff done. I think I like the Milwaukee gloves better. They're supposed to be usable on the touchscreen, but no, nothing. I'm touching the screen, nothing's happening. These just feel loose and feel weird. These are nice. I can move around with them, but I cannot control my screen. There we go. That's better. No, it's not something I hadn't taken into account. Pumpkin, where are you going? She just went flying out of here like something was wrong. You okay, Pumpkin? You all right? Oh, she's going to go nap. Got the gloves, but didn't take into account that I always have a camera in my hand, so that's not going to work, is it? Excuse you, kitten. All the cuts are going to be off because I keep having to tap over and over again to get things to happen with the screen. Kitten's been harassing the Pumpkin. I feel like this video is such a mess. It's only getting started. Okay, are you ready? I took one of the gloves off. That should make working the camera easier. You want to go out? You can go out. Come on, you can go out. It's fine. There you go. Go on, Turbs. I need to make a path. I can't walk around in here, so I just had to go out the front door, walk around the house, come in through this garage door so I could get to the lights that are setting right here, because when I came up from the store, I couldn't get the other door to open. And I have all the new plants sitting over here too. Snow shovels back there, and I don't know what to do. Take this yucca and maybe scoot this over here, kind of close to the door, but it's a yucca. I don't think it's going to mind. They can take a good amount of cold. Stack these up properly. I can step through here. And then only a few more things to move. Just scoot them, maybe. Might be able to. Yeah, I can get through here. Not very easily, but can make it happen. Maybe I could take the oleander pots all the way over there. So that's not an issue. And then this is just a basket full of Christmas lights that need to go through. See which ones work and which ones don't. Get that out of the way, and then we'll be able to walk. I have enough lights here to get some more up around the laurel hedge. I'm trying to squat down and get these with one hand. Probably didn't think that through very well. The laurel hedge, I mentioned in last week's video that I needed to potentially get it wrapped up, and I got the frost blankets down to do that from the attic, and they just completely disintegrated. All of them. Brand new. I mean, not brand new, but I've only had them for a year. I've never had frost claws break that quickly. I forgot the heater messes up all kinds of things. The camera's apparently not happy about the lighting. What's that about? Oh, this is surprisingly already fairly deep snow. Oh man, I'm gonna have to dig the zipper out. Okay, 2 strands of lights, all set up. Audio's probably pretty weird in here because I'm in a big plastic bubble. I went through and knocked a bunch of the snow off the top. Forgot to do this side right here. Loud, I'm sure, but very satisfying. Very satisfying, that's what I said. Suppose the goal here is... That was loud, I'm sorry. It's loud because of the sleet and the snow. It's getting kind of windy. I just heard thunder, too. Thought I saw a little bit of lightning. What was I saying? Oh, I just want to keep it a few degrees warmer in here. That's the objective. Don't know if it'll happen. This is very thin plastic. It's already got a whole bunch of holes in it. Ideally, it would stay warm enough in here to melt the snow off the top. I know snow offers some insulation, but I don't think this frame is going to be meant to hold the amount of snow they're predicting. They're saying anywhere from like 6 inches to a foot, and that changes like every hour. You know, the predictions are all over the place. Oh, this is so much fun. I'm sure it's really loud and obnoxious for you guys, but I'm having a good time knocking the snow off. Also, once the ice starts to form on here, I worry about it cracking the plastic up here, because this thing, it's not very high quality. So, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. I have a temperature sensor up here. It's all the way up top, so it's going to give warmer readings, although it's pretty close to the plastic too. Who knows? If I wanted to see how the plants were doing, I'd move it down in there, but I don't know. I really just kind of want to get an overall idea of the air in here, and I'll just assume that it's going to be cooler down here than up there. It says you can only attach 2 strands, so I suppose this is it. I have another outlet that I could plug into. I don't know. I'll keep an eye on the temperature to see what's happening. Right now it's like 24. Doesn't feel horrible, but you know, it's supposed to get down to like 4. That's going to feel a lot colder. One of the issues I've noticed with this greenhouse is that the windows don't seal up. They zip on the sides and it's just open. You see that? It's just open down there. No Velcro or anything. So had I realized that before everything was all wet, it's very wet and icy in here, I would probably just get some plastic and tape it around these, but I think it's probably too late for that. Things might dry up some and I'll check back in later, but yeah, that seems stupid. Why would it? That needs to seal. Really dumb. But okay, that's the last of the cold protection stuff I need to do for the plants. You can go out to the grow space, warm up, sit under the heater for a few minutes, and play with some plants. Hey Tobes, how you doing? Okay, abrupt, no, not looking at new plants just yet. It's been a few days. I decided that I should probably keep things in a sequence instead of bouncing all over the place to give you the final updates with the snow and how things did in the greenhouse. They did great. It's really warm in there. Well, I don't know what it is right now. Probably 45 is what I've been getting. Last night was the coldest night they had predicted. I think it was like 5 degrees, 4.8, something like that. I don't know. Very cold, but not as cold as what they were saying it was going to be like last week. Last week they were saying we were going to be dropping down to like 0. That's too cold. That's way too cold. 5 degrees, not all that concerned. Really, I wouldn't have moved most of those plants in there for 5 degrees, but you know, I don't know. Better safe than sorry. I did end up putting 2 additional strands of lights in there, and then I let some snow go ahead and accumulate on this roof. A lot of it's melted off by now because it's been pretty warm in there. Coldest it has gotten inside the greenhouse was 29, I believe, is the coldest temperature I saw in the reader. And I have the reader hanging from the roof in there, so that's where all the warm air is. I probably should have set it down more towards the middle, but I figured that it would be easier just to strap it up to the ceiling. And part of this roof does not stand up on its own. This thing is brand new, and that piece is, I've never been able to get it to go up. But it's working fine. It's functioning, doing what it's supposed to. I'm happy with it. Laurel Hedge was worried, but we could go out. It's so cold, I'd rather not. But I do have on pants and shoes, which is a rare thing. Do you want to go out, Turbo? Forgot to check my mic. Why do I do that? Do we have audio? Yes, thank goodness there's audio. Okay, all right, we can go out. Go on out. Go on, Turbo. No, not you, kitten. You stay here. You can't go out. Not for floofs. Too cold. And I want to say the total accumulation was about 9 inches. That's the most snow I've seen out here in a long time. Maybe ever. I can't remember the last time we had 9 inches of snow. There are a couple of sables I didn't cover up because they're ones that I'm really not all that attached to. And I just kind of figured if they make it, they make it. If not, I won't be heartbroken. Needle palm will be fine. Trust me, it'll be okay. It's a tough plant. Snow helps insulate. I don't know that. Really? Is that Cozy, Turbo? Yeah, I know. He loves the snow. He loves the snow so much. Look at him. Look at him. He's so happy to be out here in the snow. He's the happiest dog ever. He gets to play in the snow. He just sticks his face down in there and eats it. These over here, the sable miners that I put the trash cans over, I want to say that this was probably unnecessary, only because I realized I have greenhouses that I ordered to put over these, and I hadn't even taken them out of the boxes. I tried to plan ahead in September of last year and order things before like the prices on them went up, and then I completely forgot about it. But hey, put the trash cans to good use. They're just sitting in the driveway doing nothing. So now they have a function. Probably better insulated inside the trash cans because I piled a ton of mulch up around them. Oh, and this is I think it's a grill cover. I found it in the attic. Instead of putting it on the grill, I thought, well, it'll add some extra insulation for the palms. Not a long-term solution, right? Because there's no light in those. But for a week, it's fine. In a few days, we're supposed to be back up to temperatures where a lot of the snow will probably be gone. I'm guessing. I don't know. We don't get this much snow very often. I know it's going to take a while for it to melt off. But I think we're going to be in like the mid to upper 30s for a few days next week. And that should probably handle a lot of this, I would think. Little gem. I didn't wrap it up. I probably should have. I started to mention and then deviated. Never finished this story. So the bags that go around the laurel hedge over here, They disintegrated. I just bought them last year, pulled them out of the attic, and they just fell to pieces in my hands. So I need to find that video where I bought those and remove their description, their link from the description. That's not probably something I'd recommend people buy. They don't last very long. All my other frost bags I have out here, I've had them for years. The ones that are on the needle palms down here, they've been around forever. I couldn't even tell you how long I've had them. A long time. I did order some new ones, but they won't be here until I think tomorrow. I mean, who knows when they'll really be here. Shipping and everything is really off. The roads are still pretty bad here. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday and barely made it there alive. That's not being dramatic either. People on the highway are way too close to each other. A car came. They were trying to get on the highway from one of the ramps. So like I was 2 lanes over. You leave a buffer lane so people can get on. And they were too close to the car in front of them. They had to slow down because there were like boulders of snow in the road, and it had to pull out, and it headed right at me. Barely missed it. 5 cars went swirling around the highway. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. All because you were following way too close. I have one of them's double bagged. Yeah, one of them's double bagged. The other one has a single bag on it. But like the coldest temperature should have been about 5 degrees. And 5 degrees is nothing for the needle palms. My main thing was keeping the ice out of the grounds. We had enough snow that I'm not all that worried about any of that. Because like I said, the snow insulates. Don't know if I ever updated, but I got the majority of the mulch down. Pardon the dog poop. You know, they don't go to the grass when there's snow on the ground. The world is their toilet when there's snow on the ground. There was something over here I was going to talk about. I don't remember what it was. Oh, I made the mistake of watering the plants in the garage. Shouldn't have done that, because where's that water go? Right out from the bottom of the door. So now the driveway's just a solid sheet of ice. Oh, well, at least the plants got watered. They really need it. With the heater running overtime, because, you know, having these temperatures in the single digits, the air was drying out a lot, so I decided to water, because that helps bring up the humidity. Gets things nice and moist in there. Okay, so there's the update. Everything in the greenhouse is fine. We were just in there. I'm not going to pop back in there. It looks the same as it did a few minutes ago in the video. Now, I'll go out to the grow space, look at some new plants. No, what am I doing? First, exciting, got an AeroGarden for Christmas. This is a plant channel, thought maybe we should talk about this, right? I'm not really going to do a review because I've already unboxed it and everything, but I'll be talking about what's in here. You coming up? Oh, big jump, Pumpkin. You're such a good jumper. I'm not sure which one this is. I've already gotten rid of the box. It just says, oh, the Harvest right there. Harvest 2.0. It's not a really fancy one. I don't believe this is very inexpensive though. These AeroGardens are really pricey. It did come with a packet of seeds, but I don't know what they are. It just says black seeded Simpson bulk. What am I supposed to do with that information? Not much there to go off of. The light is touch, which is nifty. It seems like it goes on and off from, like, I don't know, probably 10 to 12 hours after you turn it on. So 12 hours from now, it'll turn off on its own, then turn back on at the same time tomorrow. It came with some food, liquid food, you add to the water. Simple panel here, you lift up to add the water into there. There's a little pump on the inside, which keeps the water circulating. You can kind of see that, just that thing right here, this guy. Keeps the water flowing so that you don't have stagnant water. You have some oxygen around the roots. Otherwise, everything would just rot and die. And that would make this entire thing pretty pointless, wouldn't it? Okay, and then, hi kitten. The seeds. I use seeds that are, well, they're hybridized to say really small. Right, so these are the Pepper Hybrid Fresh Bites Red. And then I have the Fresh Bites Orange in here as well. And a tomato called Red Velvet. These are all from Park Seed. They're old. I got them last year, never got around to planting them, so germination. Who knows how that will be. These are all plants that are supposed to stay under a foot tall. I think that the Fresh Bites peppers, if you really let them go a long time, they might push bigger than that, but they're supposed to be things that you can grow in a little pot on your countertop that stay nice and compact and have a good harvest with good tasting food. Sometimes when they start to dwarf up the plants, you lose a lot of flavor with the fruits, or you'll lose an abundance that you might have with the crops. I'm sorry, I'm very distracted by the kitten over here. It didn't come with the little plastic domes that I see in people's pictures with the AeroGardens, but it did come with a roll of stickers. I don't know where they went. I guess you put on top of here to help shade them or something. I don't really know the purpose of the stickers. I guess I could look at the directions and see what I'm supposed to do with those. Oh, they're labels. That's it. You're supposed to label the stickers and put them on top and then insert that. I don't need to do that. I already told y'all fresh bites red, fresh bites orange, or maybe vice versa. I don't know. And the hybrid red velvet tomatoes in the middle. Nice thing about the channel here is, well, I have backup information. I can always reflect back if I can't remember what's in here, but they're the only varieties I know of that are bred to stay that small, so it shouldn't be that hard to remember what's in here. Really don't need the light right now because everything's still germinating. I'm trying to turn it off, but nothing's happening. Look, nothing. There we go. We'll turn back on. You just really have to wait and be patient. Will that do it? How about now? But okay, all right, there's a delay. We're gonna figure this out. Turn off, there we go. All right, that was overly complicated. Setup was a breeze. All this stuff was down, packed inside of here. Light snapped onto this piece. You can adjust the light, which is going to be necessary, right? You need to be able to bring that up. Make sure it can go up nice and high as the plants grow. This is a very small one. I didn't want a big one. I also have some other brand, I would say off-brand versions of this AeroGarden that I'm gonna set up and test alongside and see, like, is this really worth the money? Because there are a lot of countertop gardens you can get for like 25 to 50 bucks that are essentially the exact same thing from what I can tell, but won't really know until you set them up, right? Oh, and if you wanna look at the lights, there's the lights. Got a variety of spectrum going on in there. You can't switch between the reds and the whites or anything like that. It's just one thing the whole time. Light goes up and down real easily, and everything all plugs into this down here. The setup was really quick. Very, very, very simple. Okay, now we can go out to the grow space. That worked out well. I needed to procrastinate a little bit because Turbo wasn't done running around playing. So he had his time, and now we can have our time. Oh, the gardenia. I don't want to talk about it right now. The gardenia is fine. I had some people commenting saying that they do. It's a whole thing. I've done a video on gardenias. I agree. I prefer to keep them in a cool spot than in the house. This is only in the house for like a week. It's going back out in a few days. I think the grow space would have been too warm. That's why it's in here. I didn't want to take it from the cool temperatures out there to the very warm, humid temperatures in the grow space. So I think the plant would have been very unhappy with that. You look so angry, Pumpkin. Are you angry or are you relaxed? Sometimes it's hard to tell with cats. It feels so nice out here. It's so warm and toasty. Water's a bit obnoxious. By the way, I never talked about this. I put a new pump on this waterfall that claimed to be ultra strong. I would say that this is much worse than the other pump. But hey, no surprise there. VivaColor was the brand. They tend to overhype their products. That's just my opinion from some experience with some of the things that I've gotten from them. I'm gonna unplug this and switch it back out with the old pump, see if we can see a difference. Okay, not the easiest thing getting this pump out of here, especially because I've surrounded myself with plants over here, but I think I can. Maybe what am I gonna do here? What was the plan? How did I do this? It's been on here for about 3 weeks, a month maybe, and I should have just swapped it out right away, but I never did. Just didn't get around to it. The holidays were too busy. So here's that new, it looks like a nice big fancy pump, doesn't it? It's, got all this power. Look at the size of that motor. You would think this would be really good, but it's not. This thing sucks. And then here's the old pump that I've been using for the last couple of years. This thing, I think it's maybe $60 now, something like that. But originally, I want to say this was like 45 bucks, somewhere along those lines. It does 12,000 liters an hour. I don't know. America. I don't know what that means. This one right here supposedly was going to do 4,500 gallons an hour. I'm going to say that it was not doing that because I know that this isn't that much, and I was getting better flow. But there are other factors that can influence how these things work, like their ability to pump water upstream, which is important if you're looking for something to use in like a waterfall type of setting. It's not that far, maybe 8 feet of tubing here. And in the pictures for this one, for the VivaColor, they were showing these like long meandering streams that were going uphill. And I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's a lie. Okay, go ahead and adjust y'all so you can see the waterfall. And then, oh, I don't know where what did I do with the plug end? Found it. We'll go ahead and get this plugged in. See if that looks any better. Gonna be better flow? It's dried out for a while and it's an old pump, so. Okay. I guess it's about the same. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's better or worse, but definitely this is not worth the money. That one was cheaper and it's lasted for years. I'm gonna clean this up and figure out something else to do with it. I know, I deviated. We're supposed to look at plants. We didn't look at plants now. I gotta clean up now. I'm all covered in goo. Okay, now, finally, plants. Talked about this for a while in the video. I got some fun stuff here. These were all things that I wasn't expecting to buy, but you know, sometimes you're at the hardware store and you see a good deal and then all of a sudden plants happen. Wow, that was a hardcore voice crack. I'm leaving it in there. I don't mind being a little bit embarrassed by myself. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes your voice cracks. For starters, begonia. This one wasn't on sale. I just thought it was really pretty. It's just a Rex begonia, but look at the shimmer. It's really pretty. Now, looking back on this, would I have bought this if I wasn't just in the mood to buy plants? I don't know. I love that blue sheen. You see that sheen? It's so pretty. I'm gonna turn on some more lights. Yeah, look at that. Look at that shine. Very blue, very pretty. Like I said, it's just a Rex. Everything I'm pulling out is going to need a drink. Is there a hole in the bottom? No? Well, I'm okay with that right now because this thing's going to need to soak in its water for a little bit. This is one that doesn't have a name, right? It just says, oh wait, no, I think it does have a name. Fedor is the name on this one. A common Rex begonia. I've seen them around many, many times. I don't know, something about it, that minty green color stood out to me, and I said, well, I'll go ahead and get that. It was a good price, and I was in the mood to buy plants, and I bought it. The thing is, I also have the dragon scale peperomia, and it has a very similar leaf that's shinier than this, actually, and probably less fussy. Rex begonias, these aren't fussy plants. It's just very easy to overwater them. I would not normally ever recommend watering while it's in the catch pot. You need drainage for them, but these are all pretty dry. I mentioned earlier that I've had the heater running just overtime lately because it's, you know, been in the single digits outside, and that dries the air out. I've been able to bring up the humidity some by watering and turning my driveway into a solid sheet of ice. That's helped, but you know, for the begonia and everything you're about to see, they're all going to need a drink because I don't know, I didn't want to tend to them very much where I wasn't sure what the temperatures were going to be like out here. There were a lot of reports and warnings issued for our area talking about the ice causing power outages, and I was just trying to get things really hot in here so that if we lost power, there would be more wiggle room until power would be restored. But luckily that didn't happen. Everything worked out fine. I'm gonna move on to the next one now. Oh, and all of these are from Home Depot. I didn't mention that. These next two are the same plant, and for some reason, they were on sale. I don't know why. They look totally fine. Why'd my light go out? What's wrong with... You didn't come to work today? That's going to be obnoxious. Hopefully I don't have to buy new lighting. I've only had this one for like 4 years. It's an LED. It should be fine. Take good care of it. Oh, this one's tangled up. Okay, here it is. Here's the other one. You see it? Look at it. These were $12.99. That's it. These are Thai Constellation Monsteras. Now, I don't need another Thai Constellation. The one I have is huge, takes up a lot of space, but I have had lots of people, mostly friends, asking me for cuttings, and I've always said no because I just had that single growth. There are a few small ones coming up at this point, but I didn't want to cut mine up. And now they're so commonly available that apparently you can get them for 13 bucks on clearance. I don't know why they were on clearance. They look totally fine. Maybe they weren't supposed to be on clearance. I'm not really sure. But sometimes that's just the way they do things. Do they still have a sticker on them? Yeah, $24.98, and they're just labeled as 4-inch tropical in ceramic. That's the name of this. This Thai Constellation Monstera is 4-inch tropical in ceramic. They didn't even label it as a Thai Constellation. That's how unspecial these plants are at this point. I did sort through the ones they had. They had several to try and find the ones that had the most variegation on them, but at this size, I don't know how much of a difference it's really going to make. They are potted up in what I think is a fairly well-drained mix. I gave it a little look. Nah, actually, that could use a repot. Out here in the grow space, I think that that's actually fine for a little while. But eventually, it's a Monstera. They're going to want more air movement around those roots. The key is to just not overwater them. Don't let them sit in the water either, like I'm about to do. Well, I give them both a very hefty drink and let them chill and soak some water up for the remainder of the video, and then I'll dump that out. Yeah, an aeroid mix, right, would be better for them. I thought they were pretty. Like I said, I've had people ask me for them. That was such a good price. It's like, well, I'll go ahead and just grab these while I'm here, and they can have them if they still want them. And if not, then I'll just underplant my other Thai with these, and they can grow up with that one. I don't want more of those behemoths out there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't think you can even see it from here because there's so much foliage. You can kind of see some of the Thai over there, but it's just massive. It is a very, very big plant. These get huge. It takes them, like, I want to say a good 3 to 5 years somewhere in there of fairly slow growth. And then they reach a size where they really start to put on. And if you let them crawl, I've also noticed you get much bigger foliage. So once these come up big enough where you'd want to tie it to a pole, if you let that hang down and crawl, you're probably going to get some bigger foliage. That's just been my experience. I don't know that for a fact, but usually with my Monstera deliciosas, if they're growing this way, I get bigger leaves faster than I get them if I try and put them up on a pole. Maybe that's something you want to give a try if you want some nice big leaves. I don't know, you do you. Now, I was just very pleased to see these being sold at such a rate, because even $25 for a variegated Monstera deliciosa, I'd say that's a pretty fair price. Mine was 43 or 45 back in the day. I got off of eBay and it was just labeled as variegated Monstera. I don't even know if they were calling them Thai constellations back then. It was a long time ago. But it was probably 2 feet tall when I got it. Like, it was what most of them you see cost about $300 or $400 right now, about that size. I could go into the talk about the ridiculous prices on plants for a long time, but my main thing was that I managed to pick up some stuff that, well, one, were unexpected, just because they're not even labeled as Thai constellation. They're not even labeled as rare. The word rare is not even on there. I really appreciate that. Can I tilt it enough? Yeah. 4-inch tropical and ceramic. They didn't try and hype it up, anything like that. I do think it would be a really good idea, though, to have a tag in here that does say what these are, because Monsteras are pretty tough. As long as you don't overwater them, they're fairly bulletproof plants. When they get bigger, they can take a good amount of light. My Thai in the summertime, probably midsummer, gets almost a full day's sun, but it's much larger. Right, when they're smaller, that wouldn't be a good idea. Don't put them in full sun when they're little like this. They'll just burn up and die. Artificial lighting is different. Just put that out there so that people don't question me about that. But the main thing is to have a label in there so that people know that they're getting a plant, was what I was getting at, that is going to get absolutely huge. And it could use a repot. The potting media in here, fine for the growers in the greenhouses where it's really warm and they have fans and things going. But at home, probably not as great. Is this Spanish moss alive? Oh, it's greening up. I wasn't expecting that. I just assumed this was going to be bone dry. You see that? Look how green that is. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's fun. I can spread that around the grow space. It does not need to be around the ties. They don't need Spanish moss packed around them. At this size, they're much more likely to have issues with rot and everything. They're still going slow and getting started. There's not a lot going on with the roots on these yet. They're not pulling up water at the same rate they would when they are larger. That's why I don't think it's a great idea to have that soil top dressed with something, but it's just moss. So it's probably fine. The moss isn't likely to hurt anything. It's very airy. I'm just surprised how much green there still is in this stuff. Usually that's all dried up and dead. That's a nice surprise. Hopefully there's not any chiggers in there. Whenever I see Spanish moss, all I can think about is being down south and all the chiggers, all the critters and the bitey and stingy things that hang out in the moss. It's so pretty, but you learn the hard way. Don't play with it. It's a bad idea. It's full of all kinds of stuff that you don't want on your skin. Okay, and these next two, I think the ties, I probably should have saved these for last. Getting the Thai constellations for $12.99, that's a pretty big deal. Even $24.98, great deal. But these, I just could not pass up. And these are not from the grocery store. Can you see? Well, you can see it. I didn't know if you'd be able to see, and I was going to have to surprise y'all with a big reveal. Look at how big these are. These are Philodendron bilate. I don't care how you say it. They're a longleaf philodendron with a bright orange stem. Very easy to grow. One of my favorites of the philodendrons. When the plant craze in 2020 happened and the prices on these skyrocketed, I was so sad because they were one of those ones where I was like, I really wish everybody could grow this one because they get really full and they have so much color and they're a fairly quick grower for a philodendron, that is. They just have so much personality and character. And I'm always a sucker for orange. I like when there's orange mixed with green. I think that that just looks very nice. The thing with these, or the reason I got them, was one, it was like I've been saying with all of these, or the begonia. Begonia was the regular price. It was a phenomenal price. Regular price on these were $15.99. Look at how big these things are for $15.99. I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to bring you back as far as this tripod will go. Move that light out of the way. And look at that. Maybe I can put my Yeti over by it. I'm trying to balance the light in one hand. There we go. I'll bring the Yeti over. Lots of people have Yetis and Stanleys that can give you an idea. 32-ounce Yeti next to these things. These are big for $15.99. I know the price on them has come way, way, way down. On pretty much all of these plants, it's come way down. But size-wise, they're usually still like, what, $45 to $75 on the low end when they're this big. I still see them at my local nurseries for like $130 to $150 when they're this big. I can see little ones that are maybe half the size for, like I said, $50, $75, somewhere in there. But once they start to have these big stems that go all the way up here and you get those nice long boy leaves, the price on them really skyrockets. So I was just shocked that I was able to find these for such a good price. So the reason I got these, other than what was a good price and I just couldn't resist, and as maybe being somewhat impulsive, I want to put them in my fish tanks. I've seen other people do that and they look so great, not growing underwater, right? So you can take, I mean, pretty much any houseplant, not everything, but a lot of them, as long as the water's warm and circulating, kind of like I was talking about the AeroGarden, you can grow them in an aquatic environment, or technically a hydroponic environment. And the billies here look pretty dang cool growing out of a fish tank, growing up and out of the top. So the water level still needs to be right around down here. I don't want it up here. It needs to be way down here. And everything coming out the top of the lid. I just think that that's going to look so, so, so pretty. I bought two of them really only because I could not make up my mind as to which one I wanted. This one right here is a little bit smaller, but much more full. I would say it has some, I don't want to say it needs some TLC, but it's got a lot more scraggly growth on it. You can see it has some stuff in here that needs to be pruned out of it. That's easy enough to do, right? It's a philodendron. The stuff just snaps right off. But I was thinking that maybe I could divide this one, but I don't think I can. I was holding it over here by my face. You couldn't even see it. It's not quite there yet. So I was thinking I would just take a division from one of these lower growths that are nowhere near big enough to divide up yet and start that in the fish tank. But yeah, I don't know. And I have two different freshwater tanks that are big enough for me to try this with. So I'll probably do one of them in each. For right now, I'm going to let them hydrate some because they got really dry out here with the heater blowing for the same reason I was talking about with these ties, which I'm now going to scoot over because I realize you'll be able to see these a lot better if I scoot them to the back of the desk there. There we go. That's a better setup. Look at so much color. Everything looks so nice. So much fun tropical foliage. I love the bilites. And the backs of the foliage too has good color on it. And they have that nice long leaf. They don't get huge. You know, it's not like you're growing one of the really crazy rare ones with the crazy long leaves or anything like that. But they have so much more personality and character to them with that color. The more light you push them towards, usually the more intense this orange color will be. But it's a philodendron, so you got to do that very, very carefully. The billy that I have right now, it gets some direct sun in the morning and then filtered light
until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then a lot of shade after that. And I would like to give it more light than that. I just haven't really found a good spot for it outdoors during the spring and summer when it's outside to give it that kind of light. But when it's getting that really nice morning light, it really just shines. It has a lot of color to it. So before these can go into the fish tank, there's some work that needs to be done on them. One thing I really need to do is make sure these are washed off very, very well. I have to get them out of the pots, out of the soil, because I could just stick the pot and the soil into the fish tank, but that's typically not a very good idea. The whole reason that these need to be cleaned out is because I don't know what's in there. There could be pesticides. There are probably pesticides we can see. Maybe you can see the white stuff here on the leaves. You see that? See it all? And get it even closer. Look at that. All that white crusty stuff. Hard water or pesticides. I don't know, but it can't be in the fish tank. So when I take a tropical plant, a house plant, and I'm introducing it into an aquatic environment where I have living organisms, fish typically, this is what we're talking about, fish tanks, right? Yeah, that's all. I've thought it was exciting. I've always wanted to try, well, always, the last like 3 years, whenever I saw the Instagram posts where people had these growing in the back of their fish tanks, I was like, I like to do that, but I'm not going to spend those prices on ones to put in the back of the fish tank. Now I have them. I have some little Thai constellations to give away for $12.99. That's such a good deal. Like I said, the original price was great too. I also picked up this tiny litter box, and I should say more about that probably. Hold on, I need to go grab something. I accidentally left my Philodendron McDowell outside, so this is what that looks like now. It's not great, but it still has green on it. This thing still has potential. It's not dead yet. Luckily, I saw this out in my driveway when it was, I think it had gotten down to 27. I'm really surprised it's not more dead than this. So apparently this one can take a little bit of cold. That's good to know. I don't think, is this litter box even big enough for this? Well, I don't think, there's not much life down here on this end. See that right here? This is where there's some desiccation. I could probably, yeah. See that rot in the goo? That's not good. We don't need that. That's just bad stuff. I'm going to cut it right there. Make sure there's some green there. Should probably spray it down, but I'm not gonna because, well, time is precious. I got other things I need to do right now. What I'm going to do with this is just, well, I'm going to drill some holes in the bottom of this litter box. This is only $3 at the grocery store. Seemed to me like a better deal than trying to find a window box plant or something like that, especially since I'm just going to be using this as, well, rehab, right? I'm just trying to get this thing moving again. Do I have any fungicide? I should probably look. I'm going to need fungicide. I don't have any fungicide. Not surprised by that. I used a lot of it on those mule palms when I moved them inside. I'm going to drill a bunch of holes in here off camera because it's going to be really loud. And not pot it up, plant it up. I guess this is a pot. We can call it potting it up. Yeah, see? You can see the light shine through it. A lot of holes in there that should be plenty enough for drainage. Now what I'm wondering is if I should go ahead and just cut this up some more. Maybe another cut right here and just have two different plants growing in this pot. I don't think that would be a bad idea, actually, because this is going to outgrow this litter box in no time. And that would be a shame because it's so pretty. I want to be able to keep it in here for as long as I can, right? Well, actually, I think I'll just leave it. I think that's the best thing to do. Just leave it alone. I don't have a ton of potting mix, but I have some just pre-bagged stuff here that I'm going to just use that and hope that it's good enough. Oh, good, there's soil dust going all over my water. Probably should have moved that. Oh, well. Is that going to be enough? It doesn't need to be buried, right? This is a nice airy blend, so I don't mind if it is somewhat buried. Yeah, actually, I think that's fine. I put holes in the side. They're a little bit too high. I could probably add some more soil to this, but this is all I have right now. The rest of my soil is outside and frozen. So I guess this is going to have to do. Oh, hold up. It was bugging me. It was really bugging me. I couldn't not spray this down with some kind of a fungicide. I wandered around. I did find some. The bottle's expired, but hey, it's better than nothing, right? So I'm just going to make sure that that end that I cut has a good spray. And then the growing apex right here, I'm actually going to peel some of this back because it's already coming off. A lot of that is there to be protective, so you don't really need to take it off, but I'm doing it anyways. Yes, probably should have on gloves. I'm about to go wash my hands off, so it's fine. Give that a nice spray. And now what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to let this sit on top of the soil for a day to make sure that all this stuff can dry off. And tomorrow I'll go ahead and bury it some more, get it flat, and give it a nice big drink and make sure that this stays well hydrated. And got to stay on top of the fungicide too, right? Because it's just so likely that this could rot out and die. Cold damage can take a while to show up on the plants. So even though this looks okay right now, okay, that might be overstating things. I don't know that we would say that this is a plant that looks okay. This is not what a McDowell's supposed to look like. It has green on it and it's still firm. That's the main thing, is to just keep it nice and hydrated, but not so much that it continues to rot. I should probably keep pulling on some of the stuff that's on here because it just gives space for bad things to happen. Air can get trapped in there, rot can happen. And I want there to be as much exposure to the surface of the soil in here as possible so that it can take root, start to grow. And in the springtime, when I'm moving plants outside and it's nice and warm and there's natural sunlight, I can get this back into the pot that it was in. It was much more attractive than this one. And it should be good. McDowell, pretty sturdy one. Like I was talking about with the billies back there, clearly can take more cold than I thought too. It was in a somewhat sheltered spot. Kind of. It was under the overhang of the garage, mixed up with a bunch of pots I needed to organize and clean off and put away. I had pulled it out when I was moving plants in because it was in the way of the dolly when I was pulling the Eureka palm in, and I totally forgot about it. I totally forgot that I needed to move that back inside, so that was just, it's all on me. I screwed up, but there's still hope for this plant. It looks very sad, but I have high hopes for it. I think it'll be okay. I am going to move it out of the way of the desk because that's where the heater just blasts, and that's just going to dry it out. I don't know where to put this. I'm running out of room to put plants, especially something that's on a litter box. It doesn't even need a lot of light right now, so I'm just going to set it under my desk for right now. These are going to wait another day or so. Like I said, I want to make sure that they're nice and hydrated before I pull them apart and start soaking them. And I think that's about it. I know the voice cracked again. I can't help it. I talk at a different volume when I'm filming these videos. Sheesh. And it just sometimes the voice cracks because, I don't know, need to do some speech training, I suppose. One other update to give us the plants. Look at that. Look at that inflow. Isn't that beautiful? Just so colorful. It's supposed to be really colorful. This should, over time, get a really nice orange color to it. We will wait and see. I'm a little bit surprised that this even started blooming for me at this size. This is a Chamaedorea tepihilote. Tepiljote, something like that. Got them last year. Have two of them. The other one has an inflow about to come out of it. Also, you can see it right there. Fun. Really fun. This, like I said, should be very colorful over time, but it's really small and it's under artificial lighting, so I don't know what it'll do. I still thought I'd show y'all because over the next few weeks, it's going to keep changing and looking different. So fun. Really neat looking. Alien-like flowers on those. Got some new leaves popping up on the Borneo giant alocasias in here. Not much else is happening. And we'll probably just keep it that way for now. It's about time to wrap it up. Can do some stuff out here next week. The time I was going to spend in here working this week very much got overridden by needing to do things outside that were very important. I still had mulch to go down to get that greenhouse up. There was just so much to do. I really didn't have time for anything in here other than to make sure things are nice and watered. Next week can start rearranging some things, trying to get things off of the ground. I did start to put Christmas stuff away, even though I think in the beginning of the video I said, like, leave me alone, I'm going to leave it up. But I realized I'd like to get my countertops cleared off so I can move my plants back inside. I have some of my plants that are normally in the windows inside, just sitting on the floor out here. And I feel like that's not ideal, right? Those should be inside in the garden window. The orchids are getting ready to bloom. I want them inside. And I'm not that I'm tired of Christmas, but I'm done. I'm ready to go ahead and put it away. So it's finally happened. I think we're supposed to get some more snow tonight, like anywhere from 2 to 6 inches. So excited about that. We're gonna have more snow on top of the snow. People are gonna love the skiing this year. So much good skiing. Usually the ski place here is just, shaved ice basically that you're on top of, but people have nice fluffy snow to get on top of. It's time to go. All right, I hope everybody's doing well. Comment down below, especially those of you in California. I know things are really bad there right now. Hopefully you're safe, that your homes are safe too, right? But yeah, I know things are really bad. Everybody's in my thoughts and prayers. If you need help or assistance, let us all know. Maybe there's some GoFundMes, organizations you can post about, whatever we can do to help. Make it known. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I don't remember what I was going to say. All right, that means it's time to go. As always, and most importantly, everybody, keep on growing. Bye-bye.